This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz. So excited to speak. Kayvan Novak, helping you in the shadows. How are you today?
I'm really well, thanks. How are you, Abe?
I'm doing great. Was excited to get to talk to you, partially just to hear you speak in English. I've been for Lions, other stuff, and it's just like this character has probably the most distinctive voice I've ever heard, and I have to imagine that's a lot of fun to do that accent.
It is. I mean, people usually get freaked out when they hear my real voice. They're like, wait, who are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm the guy that plays Nando." They're like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yes, I am." They're like, "Oh, yeah, you are."
It's that easy just to like slip into it.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Do you feel like you have? Sorry, please.
No, no, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Where did you base the accent off of? Was it, is it a specific thing or is it sort of an amalgam that doesn't really exist in real life?
I based it on a Polish accent, actually, um, and kind of the flatness of the voice was more kind of I guess, towards Taika's character in the film because I felt like the characters were quite similar in their kind of they are the head of the house and they're a bit pedantic and this and that. So it just felt right. With the saying the words in that accent felt right for the audition basically. So, words like pillaging and killing and I would pillage everyone you included, just things like that. It just felt right. So I just went with it because I'm quite instinctual like that. If it doesn't feel right, then I think I'm doing something wrong, you know.
You feel like you have a Nandor in your own life, someone who doesn't quite read social cues and takes up a lot of space in the room?
I did until I met you, Abe, and I'm happy to say that you are the Nandor in my life, especially with that shirt. I think Nandor would like that.
Well, I will say for all his, impulsivity and lack of understanding of the modern world, he's a very nice and a well-meaning person. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think my portrayal of him is masterful and nothing less than award worthy. What do you think, Abe?
I agree, but I also think that I wouldn't say the other vampires living in the house. I think they're a lot more inherently selfish in trying to achieve their aims, even if that's how Nandor usually still focuses on himself. I think he ultimately wants to do something good and wants people to be happy. He just wants to do that through pillaging and other kinds of things.
I think through pillaging and killing, he made a lot of people unhappy. And I think he's trying to change the error of his ways. Um, but, it's easier said than done, I guess.
Do you have a favorite Nandor storyline from the 6 seasons of the show?
Um, I enjoyed I enjoyed when I had a genie. That was fun, meeting my 37 wives, and that was really well done. Um, to be honest, like all of Nandor's kind of Nandoring about over the seasons, I've really, really enjoyed. Um, I really enjoyed playing his ghost in season 2, I think. Um, this horse John. Um, just kind of going to Atlantic City in the casino episode. I love that, kind of lacking sleep, figuring out, what is a turtle. The world is round and doesn't sit on the shoulder of, a turtle, basically.
I
Um,
think I enjoyed the fitness era and his stint as a janitor. Those are definitely highlights for me.
oh yeah, yeah. And actually the good thing is the janitor is in the final season, which would make it awards worthy, right?
Yes, certainly. I
Dang.
do think this show has been it's gotten a few nominations for writing, gotten a few nominations for best comedy series, and for Matt, a little bit ago. But I feel like there are a lot of fans of this show out there in the world. I'm not sure how much they overlap with Emmy voters, but do you encounter a lot of people who are excited, not just about the accent, but who Do you feel like a lot of people have watched this show and there's a lot of fans out there?
Absolutely. I mean, I meet fans on a regular basis, because I do a lot of cons. So, when I go to these cons, I meet the fans face to face, and the first question they ask me is, why haven't you won an Emmy yet? And I say, you know what? I don't know, but I know the man to speak to about that. His name's Abe, Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago.
I have gotten that before. You're not the first person to suggest that, but I think he's a little
Well, because
older and possibly
you're probably
yeah.
the first person that people meet that's called Abe. Because I thought only people in movies are called Abe.
Oh, I did go
Um,
to an in-person interview once, and the people thought I was going to be like 80. They were so surprised that I was a lot younger. So
it is like an old geezer name, isn't it? It's like a geriatric name. Is it biblical?
it's Abraham. Yeah,
Oh, it is short for Abraham. All
yeah,
right.
like Lincoln.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I got you. Thank you for
So,
educating me.
do you was there a lot of improvisation throughout the years on this show, and do you feel like that really made this character?
There was, but it all ended up on the cutting room floor, to be honest. The scripts were just too good. We couldn't beat what was already written down in those damn scripts. We tried, but we failed. I think there's a few little improv moments in there tucked away. Yeah, usually just to kind of put a bit of, extra seasoning on an already well seasoned steak. Um, yeah,
Do you feel like any of your cast members are a little bit too much like their characters?
maybe Mark. Um, but no, I mean everyone else. Everyone's very sweet. I mean, everyone's lovely. We were one big happy family for 6 years. So yeah, it was a nice time. Very nice
It's
time.
just fun, especially fun watching you with Harvey and just seeing how that relationship has evolved. What can you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, we were mates. We laugh a lot off camera anyway, and when I go to these cons, he's always there. So we kind of do the rounds together. It's nice just to kind of bring the band back together. And we're just thick as thieves, man, just like we're a double act and, on and off camera. So it's nice. It's rare, to have that. They could have cast anyone as Guillermo or Nandor, and it might have been two actors that really didn't get on with each other, even though they were right for the parts. I guess the parts were so well written that when they cast it so well, that it was almost a given that the right people to play those types of characters would also get along with each other. Um, Definitely award worthy.
Do you feel like you've said goodbye to this character, or there is a chance that if the opportunity presented itself, you would be up for more?
Yeah, totally. When I go and meet the fans, I wear my fangs and I do a lot of Nandor for them, and they love it. They just want to meet Nandor. And yeah, no, totally. I mean, I can be Nandor all day long, quite easily. Um, so yeah, yeah. If you manage to get me an Emmy, then the people at FX might be like, oh shit, he's just got an Emmy for playing Nando. Maybe there's life in the old goat yet before we put him out to pasture. Oh no, wait, we already have.
Well, I mentioned at the start of this conversation Four Lions, which I think is a really terrific movie, which I think is now, is it 20 years ago now? I think 2005. Sometime right over here,
2009,
2010. I know, okay, so close, yeah, not quite
2010,
20 years.
2010, 2010.
But I think that is it's such a hilarious film, and I'm curious if you think that's the kind of film that would hold up these days, or if maybe might push, rub people the wrong way a little bit too much.
No, I think it's just a great piece of work, and a great piece of work is timeless. Um, it was made by Chris Morris and written by Chris Morris and Jesse Armstrong of um, Succession fame and Sam Bain, and it was just three very masterful writers and a director who knew how to execute that kind of idea. I'd say if it was made today, if it was made in the States, it might be, four white supremacists who are trying to commit some kind of atrocity and getting it, completely wrong. So, you kind of it was of its time, but as a good piece of art, it is timeless. So I think you can absolutely still. I mean, people are discovering it now. When did you watch it first? What, 2010, or you watched it more
I
recently?
watched it in 2005, 4 years or 5 years before it came out. But
Oh
I
yeah, of
probably
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. How did you manage that?
I think I saw it. Might have seen
That's
it at a press
incredible.
screening or something back then. So I saw it right away. Because I also remember. I think it
Yeah.
was probably my first encounter with Riz, which was pretty cool because he's
Yes.
obviously gone on to do some pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It was a great thing to be part of, and I love playing, Wadge. And I hope a lot more people find it. I think it's on Netflix now. Not sure what region, but if you got a VPN, that doesn't matter anymore, does it?
And for a conspiracy theorist looking on tips on how to evade having your image captured on a security camera, it's the perfect lesson.
Yeah, yeah. I try that at airports now when I'm in the States, but they're like, stop, stop bobbling your head, it'll come out blurry. I'm like, that's not like, I think that's still voluntary, isn't it?
The
You don't
pictures? Yeah, I
have to,
think so.
you don't have to do that, do you? No, not the pictures,
Well,
but just before you get on the plane, they make you look a little camera and they go,
oh, that might be that's not a I haven't encountered that a lot in the US. I don't know.
oh
But
yeah.
well, in the absence of your impending Emmy and the resurrection of this show, what's next for you?
Um, Honestly, I have been a dad for the last year. So for me right now is fatherhood and some voiceovers. I thought I'd come off shadows and the phone wouldn't stop ringing. Uh, it never started, but that's okay. Um, it's the business that we're in. It's roundabouts and swings. So basically, you need to get me an Emmy so that I can be employed again. Otherwise, you'll be depriving not only me of a career, but my son of a square meal. So just think about that, Abe. All right?
I will do my best. But
Thanks,
you
man.
probably
Don't let
won't
me down now.
well, you probably won't like my next question, which I always like to ask
Oh,
everybody talking
shit.
to. What are you
Okay.
watching? What have you seen recently that you've liked a lot, which of course is your should be your competition at the Emmys?
Oh, I've just been watching way too much YouTube. I've kind of just not been watching anything new, anything contemporary, really. Um, it's all old stuff. I just watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I loved every second of it. So, I could have watched something new and gone, "Oh yeah, it's all right. Oh yeah, he's good. Oh, that's the. Oh yeah." But I didn't bother.
Well, I would
So yeah.
say hopefully this conversation has been enough to cement that Emmy win. But I think you may want to talk to your old buddy Jesse Armstrong. He may be a little more well versed in this than I am and can help you out on that front.
I'll give him a text.
I'd love to see the you can if what we do in the shadows doesn't get picked up again. I think season 5 of Succession. I'd like to see. There could be a new janitor or someone in there who tries to work his way up in the Roy family. Could be a good role for you.
Right, you're trying to typecast me now as a janitor. What the hell is the matter with you? I can
That's
do other
definitely it.
characters too.
What's your if the phone does start ringing or if whatever, what would you like to do? What do you think you would like to try that you haven't yet?
It's not going to start ringing, babe. I'm done. I'm all washed up at 35. Um, what do I want to do? I don't know. Maybe be in a Star Wars movie. That'd be nice. Or a Star Wars series. That'd be cool. I could be the Persian Han Solo. I think I'll make a good one. What do you think?
Absolutely, totally. I'm all for it. And if I have a pipeline to that, which I don't, I will certainly put your name out there.
Listen, man, I'm just one A puff piece away from getting a good role in a Star Wars thing.
It's true. Should have thought about that before you commented on my red shirt. But I appreciate
It was a
your
genuine compliment, man.
I appreciate your
I was
time,
being
Kevin. It's
genuine.
it's exciting to talk about the show and to remember some good stuff.
Thanks.
So thank you, and I
Yeah,
I
man.
wish you
Thank
plenty
you.
of luck, even if it's out of my hands with that Emmy win and having to expand your phone plan because you're getting too many calls.
But it's in your plan. It's in your hands. That's the thing, Abe.
That's true.
Don't let me
I'll do
down,
my
buddy.
best.
All right.
I'll do my
Thank you, my
best.
friend. Thank you, my
Take care,
friend.
man. Good luck.